Good morning, everyone. I got a little bit of fall harvest seed saving that I'm going to do. And I want to walk you through a little bit. So those of you who are not in the habit of saving your own seed, you can start to see how simple and easy it is not to buy Monsanto seeds. So first thing, we're going to hit just a few of them. Let's start with this one. I'm going to spin it around. I've got you guys on the front face camera so that it has the lowest file setting. But anyway, if you look in here, you see these little red berries here on the asparagus. Okay. You want to save those. You want to save the seed on those. I'm not going to do that right now on these, but there's generally 2 or 3 seeds in there, and if you get a handful of them, you can create a new batch of asparagus. Then I'm going to come over here and see if I can't set you. Oh, guess what? Who has to show up? Miss Shadow. All right, let me spin it around here. Tighten this up. Let's see. Get you right here. Alright, so this is my sweet basil. It's a volunteer from last year. Last year we had a bunch over here in the corner behind me, and it was just allowed to go to seed. And there's some of it that is starting to brown out on the bottom here, and I'm sure you can kind of see that. Let the sunlight hit it. These lower flowers are starting to brown, so I'm going to hang it over top of a bucket and just kind of rattle the flowers, trying to knock out the seed. And there is some. It's not a lot at the moment. There's a whole lot more I can get, but while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and collect what I can. And not much shadow. You're going to help collect. There's some there. And it's not a lot yet. Ooh! Dragonfly. Alright, so see if I can turn this up. Down here on the bottom. Just shake it down to the bottom here. It's not much in this go round, but you can see all the way down there in the bottom there is a little bit of seed there. There's enough seed there for me to keep it going for a couple of years. I already have a lot, but I'm showing you how this go around. It's always good to get some new seed every year if you can. And then I dump it off into a bag, and you can see there you go. So I'm going to label this my sweet basil. I already did it here. Alright, now let me kick you around, show you the next one. Spin you around over here. Wow, I hear you. Show you around over here. Stay. Alright, so on this was a volunteer. Most of you who have seen my videos, this whole section right through here was all green beans. They've all been harvested and processed, many of them canned or sold, and then we let it go. And this was volunteer lemon catnip from last year. There's a bunch of brown flowers down here there that have already gotten ready to drop their seeds. So all I'm going to do is take them and stick them down in there and shake them out. Kind of shake out the seeds. And then really quickly, I got way more here than I know what to do with. Look at the amount of seed in there. It's incredible. So, time to get out the next little baggie. I'm going to mark this as lemon catnip. And wouldn't it be awesome if we could get smell vision? Because if you guys could smell that, you could smell that, it just tickle you pink. I mean, just, oh, that's some good stuff. I'll tell you what, good stuff. Lemon, it makes a good tea. Of course, Shadow here. She doesn't think as much of the lemon catnip as she does the regular. I'm not sure why. The other cats tend to, oh, and there's Callie. She hears me, so she's coming over. Generally, the cats love to roll around in it, and before you know it, they've eaten it to the ground. So I mark my bag. And huge amount of seed. Not believe how much this could grow. The idea though is if you can do this and you have this simple knowledge that everybody kind of goes, let's go. Well, guess what? Then you can sell it back to other people. We do. We sell seed from time to time. And Shadow really wants this dragonfly that's come up in here. Where is it at? Get it, Shadow. You see the dragonfly? Hiding up there against the... You didn't feel like... Get out of there. Hey, I gotcha. I gotcha. Come on, Shadow. Woo, there it goes. Still didn't want to get up. Here. Say goodbye. There you go. Alright, let's see what else we got. Let's move over here. We got some other goodies going on for us to look at. What do we want to do next? Alright, so this is a volunteer, one of our volunteer lettuce plants, and it's in the same family. The lettuce is in the same family as your common dandelion, except the dandelions do have more medicinal properties than these lettuce plants. Alright, so you got to look at the flower, and let me see if I can get it. You see the seed? It's just like a dandelion flower, all the little flowers. See the little black seeds? I'm not going to collect this now. It's not quite time. You see, you need a lot more of these to brown out. They're not fully developed. But let's see what we have here. And of course, more volunteer arugula, but I don't need that. I got so much arugula, it's not funny. Let's see what we can do over here. I brought all my buckets in here. And I'm going to show you these. Yeah, there you go. These are supposed to be Egyptian walking onions. Essentially, they send up these flowers like normal, and instead of a bunch of flowers on them, they produce the little onionettes, onion seeds. Whoops, slipped right out of my hand. Little onion seeds. These are what you want to collect on this. And these are pretty good for storing. You want to go through and take the tops off all of these, like such. See if you can see it. So you got them, break them up, put them in your little can or whatever, and be ready to plant them next year. You're going to put them in your cold storage. And if you live far enough south, you don't really even have to put them in cold storage. You can do like garlic, and you can go ahead and October, November plant them, get them ready for next year just to take off. But there are a whole lot of them in here. It's going to take me a bit to get them all. Actually, this will probably take me a couple hours. You're not going to see all of that, but I want to walk you to the next one. So I got all of this to do, and I'm going to keep working on it. Clean up that one. Let's spin you around here and show you where we're going to be next. I can do this right there. Alright. There you go. Hold on, let me get a shovel. Alright, this is my garlic, and for those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know I've been out framing up a house, and I've kind of boo-booed on this. I should have harvested this probably a month ago, but because of that, I'm going to have to kind of dig it up. There you go. Generally, you want to get it before it gets too dry, because then the stems become weak, and you might pull the stem out when you're digging them up. So this go around, I'm just going to use the shovel to loosen it up, because you can see, like, I let it go, and the outer husk has come off, and these things are starting to separate. So it wouldn't take much just to pop all the little bulbs off of there. So I don't want to do that. And generally speaking, you're going to want to replant these. This one would still be okay for probably drying out and eating. But once you start getting like that, those little cloves are going to want to, and that's an elephant garlic. The cloves are going to want to start growing, and once the cloves start growing, I mean, you can still eat them. That's not a big deal, but it's not the same as a fresh dried one, properly harvested. So we're going to go through, and most of these will just pop right out. You've never seen so much mullein in your life. Quackgrass. See, like that one. So the outer husk is rotted off of this. But, I mean, yeah, right now you could still eat it, but most of this we're going to save for seed for next year. And the proper time, yeah, this one almost come out too easy. The proper time for planting that's going to be here in about a month or so. Nope, that one broke on me. Yep, tried to tug on it just a little bit and it broke. All right, let me spin you around a little bit here. There we go. Whew, it's bright in here. Should have worn my glasses. All right, so it doesn't take long. Go through here and, oh, see, top of that one came off. Should have harvested some time ago, because they're all starting to break apart and swell and grow on their own, and we don't quite want that until we properly put them in the spacing requirements that each one of these need. And they need about 3 to 4 inches. And last year I did not get the garlic planted in October like I should have, so a whole lot of the cloves weren't really any good. Arugula smells good. So that's going to take me, probably another 5-10 minutes to finish that off. So, why don't I show you something else here in the garden? Let's look at something else. Alright, so out here, this is my broccoli. And I've got quite a bit of broccoli seed, but like I said, I always want to try and get some fresh stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and see if I can do this with the, you know what, forget cutting it. I'll just see what I can do to pull it straight out of the ground. Knock the dirt off of it. Alright, let's see. We'll carry it out here like this. And I'm going to take it over to my work area or inside the greenhouse or something, and I'm just going to hang it up. And, well, that ain't going to sit there very well. Alright, I'm just going to hang that up and let it dry. It needs to dry completely, because once I do, then I can break that pod open, and you can see the little seeds right there once you break the pods open. But you want it to get really brittle, really dry, and really brittle. So a lot of these pods aren't quite ready. What I do have to do, and I'm going to see if I can't get lucky on this one. I've got all that broccoli that's going to flower right there and there because we just didn't get out here to pick it in time and that. So I'm going to go here in a bit after I'm done watering, and I'm going to clip out the broccoli over here and here and take the flowers out. The reason is, I don't know if you can see it, but that's a Brussels sprout out there that's shooting up. There's a stalk out here, and there's just a few flowers on the top of it, and I don't want it to cross-pollinate. And I want to see if I can't get just a few broccoli seed off of that. It'll be the first time I've been able to actually get broccoli seed up here in this area. You want to see a beet? There's a beet. Woo! Water, get out of the way. All right, let's see. What's next? What's next? Oh, let's take a walk down here. Let's go down here to the leeks. And last year I put, how you like these cabbages, getting bigger. These guys I have failed on. It's my bad. Like I said, this last month I haven't been able to pay attention, and we got one rain that came through here and it got really wet really fast, and then all of a sudden they exploded and split the cabbages. So I'm going to have to hurry up and harvest a few of these before it gets too late. But here you go, the leeks. They have bloomed, and you can see, get off my arm, bee. You can see in the pods. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but the seeds are coming out of the dry flowers. They're right there. So if you rub them, wait till they dry, and the glove doesn't help. You can see them right there in my finger, the little black seeds. So I'm going to have a bunch of leek seeds for all these flowers. And look here, this is a volunteer carrot from last year, and it went to seed. I could collect that if I didn't already have a bunch of seed from that. I got a tremendous amount of seed from the carrots that I put in earlier this spring, and they're already hanging up, and I'll show you that in just a second. Let's see, is there anything else? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. All right. I'm not going to do it right this second because everything's wet. But over here, I have some thyme, and I have my marjoram, and I want to try and collect some seed off these marjoram flowers and that basil, and I don't want to get wet, so I'm going to back out. The basil over there, the different basils, I'm going to save some of those seeds the same way I did this sweet basil, but we got to wait for it to kind of dry out. Anyway, hang on and I'll show you the carrots and the beets. Alright, en route to the carrots and the beets, this plant, and it's hard to see it now because it is really dried up, but this plant, these stems here, this is motherwort, and this is extremely prickly, but it's a very powerful medicinal herb that you definitely want in your garden. And you can see the little seed pods here, and all you got to do is you want some gloves on, because like I said, this is really prickly. Take these, turn them over into a bucket, and shake them out with them being as dry as they are. There's enough here to get a tremendous amount. Let's look at something else. This is chamomile, and I've let this go to seed. I have not collected off of this, but you're going to take a flower. Look at the amount of seed in just one of those flowers. You definitely want to have a lot of this growing around. Very, very good tea to have, chamomile. So look at the amount of seed. Now I've already got some, but I will be saving some of this because I always add new. Alright, off to the beets and carrots. Alright, here in my workshop area, I've got some strings, ropes and stuff that I hang stuff up to dry when I'm done polyurethaning them. So here I've gone and put the broccoli plant up here, and here I'm just going to let it sit in the sun and dry out. Now you see I've done that with the carrot, and I've done that with the beets. Now the beets, they were hanging and they were good and crispy dry, but the moisture last night kind of made them wet or damp. So I was trying to save them from the other plant. And one of the things you need to know is when you do this, so I put it in the bucket, you know, like such, and then I start stripping all the seeds off the stems. I need that to dry out a little bit more. See how they just want to fall off down in there real good. But here's something I've made a mistake on that you can learn from. You need to make sure that this stuff is absolutely dry, because if you zip this bag up and there's any moisture in here, it will mold and it'll make the seed go bad. So you definitely have to have a very low moisture content for long-term storage. But there you go. As you see, I got a bunch of work to do this morning, and saving as much as I can for next year. We'll catch you soon.
Daisy chains and sweet champagne, and 2 days alone with you. Not too far from a city by car, or maybe we can make a more romantic trip by train to the country. It's where I want to be with you for the weekend. Open fires and dried wildflowers adorn this room with a view. Whiskey